Welcome to our theoretical stance presentation. This presentation is built by Emily, Mindy, Danielle, Priscilla, and Tracy. Our presentation will cover two different approaches that we feel will meet the literacy needs of our students. We hope you find our presentation and research engaging and informative. Maybe you can even find a little something to take back to your classroom.
This is our group's theoretical stance. Our group promotes a balanced approach to literacy instruction by integrating Scarborough's reading rope to support structured development in word recognition and language comprehension, while also incorporating whole language practices that promote comprehension, student engagement, and authentic use of text. This approach reflects our commitment to addressing the diverse needs of learners through a variety of effective teaching practices. By combining these frameworks, we provide students with both foundational decoding skills and meaningful experiences they need to become skilled and competent readers. We recognize that students bring unique backgrounds, strengths, and challenges to the classroom, and this blended approach allows us to tailor instruction to support each learner's individual needs. Integrating bottom up and top down strategies makes instruction both systematic and engaging, helping students decode text accurately while understanding and enjoying reading. The theoretical marriage of Scarborough's reading rope and whole language. What if we viewed literacy instruction as a choice between cracking the code and loving the story? In this presentation, we explore a theoretical marriage where the technical precision of Scarborough's reading rope meets the authentic student centered heart of whole language. Our goal isn't just to teach students to read, it's to help them become fluent, engaged thinkers with the tools to decode and the passion to understand. Next, we will dive deeper into Scarborough's reading rope and whole language a little more in depth and share classroom strategies that meet the needs of all learners through the bottom up and top down approaches.
In choosing our balanced approach, the group thought Scarborough's reading rope was a great example of a bottom up approach, and one that we are currently implementing in our classroom. Scarborough's reading rope is grounded in cognitive and constructivist learning theory. Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky both viewed learning as building over time through experiences and interactions with others. This aligned with Scarborough's reading rope. The reading rope is a complement to the simple view of reading but in visual form, as the simple view of reading model focuses on language comprehension and decoding skills as well. Scarborough's reading rope provides teachers a framework for assessing and targeting specific strands of reading development. Under this model, reading is not a natural process and must be explicitly taught. The framework of the reading rope allows teachers to be able to pinpoint where a difficulty lies and provide targeted instruction with the understanding that each component is essential to reading fluency and comprehension. Let's talk more about the reading rope. The visual of Scarborough's reading rope was created to introduce to parents and educators with limited knowledge in reading research on the complexity of reading. Scarborough used the image of the rope as a metaphor. The image shows each individual strand alone as a piece of a reading puzzle. The strands then begin to weave together, finally becoming one rope. This metaphor represents how becoming a skilled reader requires proficiency in the individual skills and using them together to build towards the final fluency of a skilled reader. There are two parts of the reading rope, an upper rope and a lower rope. The upper rope focus is on language comprehension, and the lower rope focus is on word recognition. Each rope has many strands, each representing the different skill required for reading. In the upper rope, there are strands for background knowledge, vocabulary, language structure, verbal reasoning, and literacy knowledge. In the lower rope, there are strands for phonological awareness, decoding, and sight recognition. If these skills are not developed together, reading proficiency will not be met. In our current classrooms, we are using the EL curriculum. The upper rope language comprehension skills are met in our module block, and the lower rope, word recognition skills, are addressed in our skills block.
Whole language is a comprehensive literacy philosophy primarily grounded in the constructivist lens, where learning was viewed as an active internal process of constructing meaning. In the mid 1970s and 80s, educators began to question whether breaking reading into small, isolated parts truly reflected how children learn language. Key theorists Kenneth Goodman and Frank Smith helped shape this movement. Goodman described reading as a psycholinguistic guessing game, emphasizing meaning making, while Smith highlighted the role of prior knowledge in authentic reading experiences. At its core, whole language is a philosophy of language development that assumes reading and writing develop naturally through meaningful experiences with texts. Students engage with high quality children's literature and real world tasks, like reading stories they enjoy or writing for authentic purposes. Whole language also emphasizes that listening, speaking, reading, and writing are all interconnected and should be integrated across the curriculum. Instruction is child centered and driven by student interests, which helps build motivation and a love of reading. When students make reading mistakes called miscues, they are not seen as failures, but as valuable information that shows students how students are using meaning, structure, and visual cues to understand texts. Overall, the main goals of whole language are comprehension and meaning, with a focus on developing the whole child through language experiences that matter to them. This image, created by Keats, shows the core beliefs of the whole language approach. At the center of this top down approach is meaningful text, which highlights that meaning and comprehension are the top priorities in reading instruction. Surrounding the text are skills like phonics, decoding, prediction, grammar, and context clues. In whole language, these skills are not taught separately. Instead, they work together as students read authentic texts and use multiple cues to make meaning. The circular design emphasizes that reading is an interconnected process, not a sequence of isolated steps. At the bottom of the model, the basic goal is clearly stated: comprehension. This reinforces the idea that understanding text is the primary focus. This model helps us see how meaning-based instruction can coexist with skill development, which leads directly into how whole language can be purposefully integrated with Scarborough's reading rope to create a more balanced literacy approach in our classrooms.
This slide shows how literacy is integrated across content areas by blending both Scarborough's reading rope and whole language approaches. Rather than teaching reading in isolation, these frameworks work together to support students in becoming well rounded readers. Scarborough's reading rope emphasizes the importance of multiple strands of literacy developing simultaneously. In the classroom, this includes explicit phonics instruction to strengthen decoding skills, along with intentional vocabulary development to support language comprehension. Read alouds are used to model fluent reading and build background knowledge, while guided reading provides opportunities for targeted small group instruction. Students also engage in comprehension discussions that help them make meaning from text and think more deeply about what they read. At the same time, the whole language approach ensures that students are engaging with authentic, meaningful texts. Instruction includes interactive and shared reading experiences, opportunities for turn and talks, and the use of context clues to support understanding. Students also respond to reading through writing and participate in student led discussions such as science talks, where they apply literacy skills within real world contexts. Together, these approaches create a balanced literacy environment where students are not only building essential reading skills, but also applying those skills in purposeful and engaging ways across all subject areas. Scarborough's reading rope is reflected in the classroom through instruction that develops multiple reading skills together over time. This includes explicit phonics instruction for decoding, vocabulary development for comprehension, and read alouds that model fluent reading while building background knowledge. Guided reading and structured discussions support students in strengthening comprehension with instruction focused on integrating decoding and meaning making simultaneously. Whole language is reflected through the use of authentic texts and meaningful reading experiences. Students engage in interactive and shared reading, use context clues to determine meaning, and participate in turn and talk discussions. Writing responses, journaling, and student led conversations, such as EL Module Science Talks, support deeper thinking and language use through real engagement with text.
These are just a few examples of instructional strategies that can be implemented in the classroom to support students' individual learning needs, while also aligning with both Scarborough's reading rope and the whole language approach. It's important to note that the level of support and type of instruction will vary depending on the specific group of learners. For striving readers, structured and explicit support is essential. These students benefit from clear guidance and modeling, such as teacher led read alouds, the use of alchemy boxes to strengthen phonemic awareness, and graphic organizers to support comprehension. Multilingual learners, on the other hand, require additional support through context, language scaffolds, and visuals. Effective strategies include the use of visual blending boards, sentence stems to support academic conversations, and opportunities to demonstrate understanding through drawings or other non linguistic representations. Gifted learners typically need opportunities for depth, challenge, and independence. For these students, instruction can be extended by encouraging them to write from alternative perspectives, engage in open ended discussions that promote higher level thinking, and explore word study through prefixes, suffixes, and roots to deepen their understanding of vocabulary. Overall, both Scarborough's reading rope and the whole language approach provide a framework for addressing these diverse learning needs by integrating skills based instruction with meaningful, authentic literacy experiences. Technology becomes meaningful for learners when it is intentionally used to promote both engagement and depth of learning. It can be a powerful tool for differentiating instruction and meeting the diverse needs of students. For striving readers and multilingual learners, technology provides important support that reduces barriers to comprehension. For example, students can listen to text while following along visually, which helps build fluency and understanding without placing all the demand on decoding. Programs such as Imagine Learning are especially effective for multilingual learners because they adapt to each student's individual language and proficiency level. In addition, structured literacy tools like UFly and Really Great Reading provide hands on, targeted practice with specific phonics skills, allowing students to strengthen foundational reading abilities in a focused and supportive way. For gifted learners, technology offers opportunities for creativity, independence, and deeper exploration. Students can use various digital platforms to create presentations, videos, or other projects, which allows them to take out ownership of their learning and engage more deeply with content. Overall, when used thoughtfully, technology supports all learners by providing access, differentiation, and opportunities for both skill development and higher level thinking.
As we reflect on this presentation, one key takeaway is how effective literacy instruction is not about choosing one theory over another. It's about teaching with intention. By viewing instruction through a theoretical lens, we move beyond simply delivering lessons and begin making purposeful decisions about why and how we teach reading. Scarborough's reading ropes helps us understand the complex skills students need to become fluent readers by clearly identifying areas of word recognition and language comprehension. Whole language, on the other hand, reminds us that reading is also a meaningful, social, and engaging process, one that grows through authentic texts, student choice, and real world experiences. When these two frameworks are thoughtfully integrated, we ensure students are not left without the skills needed to decode text, nor without the meaning needed to truly understand and enjoy reading. This blended approach allows us to meet the diverse needs of all our learners by combining structure with engagement. By weaving together skill development and meaningful literacy experiences, we empower students to become confident, capable, and motivated readers.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. Please see our listed references.